Hi, I am Poonam Upadhyay. I am a holistic health and diet mentor, and today on Mrs. Diva page, I am going to discuss about the common symptoms, lifestyle disorders which women have. And before starting my session, I want to apologize for little delay due to some technical fault, and again want to give my gratitude to all the people will be watching this. Gratitude to Astha for giving me such beautiful opportunity for making people aware of the common disorders or lifestyle diseases which we are going to discuss. Astha is like a friend. She is always there for us and always helping us, no matter what, in a very subtle manner. That is the best thing about Astha, and thank you so much, Astha. So today uh, we will start with our topic. So, as I told, as the topic suggests, it is common lifestyle disorder or diseases in women and the symptoms and diagnosis. So, while going through all this, uh, before that, I will just ask, am I audible properly? Can all of you hear me properly? Kavita, Kavibala, Astha, Malti, Arzu, please let me know so that I can start the session. And I hope you like this session. And actually, it is a very vast session. It is not at all possible to complete in one go. And if we talk about the disease or symptoms, we will come to know that there are variety and amples of lifestyle disorder or disease. We can also divide that into many parts, or we can club it all together and do it as a one thing. So it's very strange in a way. Uh, so, before starting again, I want to ask that does anyone know here what are the lifestyle diseases or disorder? Hi, Savi, thank you for coming live. So, I was asking, does anyone know what are the common lifestyle, what are lifestyle diseases or disorder according to you? Though according to what you understand, let us know so that we can make this session more interactive, and it will help to understand each other perspective too. So Malti, Savi, Kavibala, Astha, can anyone tell what you feel is lifestyle disorder or lifestyle diseases? uh, okay. So, lifestyle diseases or disorder is something which is related to lifestyle. Mostly it is not genetic, but due to a wrong or faulty lifestyle which we are, doing or which we follow, we get these diseases. So, these are called lifestyle diseases. Now, yes, Astha, diabetes, high blood pressure, they all come under lifestyle diseases. So, if we see diseases also, diseases are divided into two major categories: communicable and non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases, the best example for now is coronavirus, COVID-19, because this is a disease which is spreading through touch or by the uh, touch or the droplets. Okay. So which is spreading from one to another, that is called communicable diseases. And non-communicable diseases are diseases which are not spreading through any medium, but it may be genetic or some faulty lifestyle or some other perspective or some other genes or DNA, this issues due to which these diseases occur. So that way we can divide this. So what we are going to take the topic today is about communicable diseases, sorry, non-communicable diseases. So as Asta has given two examples of such diseases, diabetes, blood pressure, yeah, Malti, yeah, obesity is also one type of lifestyle disorder, and this is one of the most you know important one, and which is mostly ignored by us. So and we are going to discuss this in our session today. So anyone else want to classify lifestyle diseases according to what they feel is, or anyone suffering from that, uh, then please let us know. Please comment. Hi Tanju. Uh, so hi Shreya. Can you recommend, or can you classify some lifestyle disease or disorder according to you? Savi, can you? You can just type so that I'll also come to know. Arzu, Malti. So there are many diseases which come under this category. You just name it, and most of them are into this category: diabetes, blood pressure, obesity, dyslipidemia, then infertility, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, then osteoarthritis, snoring, depression, inflammatory diseases. They all are under this lifestyle disease, and cardiovascular disease. And in all that disease, do you know which one is the, which mostly affects the woman in all that diseases which we have spoken, and most of us suffer, which is the most uh, the disease which spreads, and the major cause of death in India as well as in the whole world. Can anyone give a guess for it? We have discussed so many lifestyle disease or disorders. Malti, Kavibala, anyone? Can anyone share their point that which diseases which you feel are responsible for major death, or are major culprit out of the all diseases we are discussing? Let me give you the answer. The answer is cardiovascular disease. Yeah, it was very shocking for me too when I did the study or research on this. So, majority of the women which are suffering from this all the lifestyle disorder, at the end, cardiovascular disease is the one only which is the major cause. But the thing is, after 10, 20, 30, 40 years, we go do some test, or we have some major symptom, we go to doctor and we are diagnosed with some heart disease or heart condition, and when we feel कि अरे अभी तक तो मतलब कुछ किया नहीं और अचानक से ऐसा हो गया, but that is not the scenario, because even small things like obesity, high blood pressure, uh, diabetes, each and every this lifestyle disease or disorder is a symptom of that one major disease which is going to happen after 30-40 years. So it is our duty to understand and work on it from today onwards. So are you all with me, and are you all and me too will try to avoid this disease? Today, in today's topic, we are going to discuss about the symptoms and diagnosis part. As I told you, the majority, there are many diseases, and it is impossible to cover it in a go. And we have ample of time, so let's we will discuss on some basic diseases or disorders today. And as the time permits, with your interest, we will go ahead and understand which one we want and which one we require. So uh, also, the death rate is increasing tremendously. I have some statistics with me of ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, which shows that death due to NCD, non-communicable disease, has increased from 37% in 1990 to 61% in 2016. So almost like it's double. And now in 2019, if we see, it will be more 2020, it will be continuously increasing. So it is not good from our side. The government has many plans, even billions of rupees are given by the government for the treatment part. Even for prevention, they have many policies, but then somewhere we are not concerned about the prevention, because we just keep on ignoring things at the end when it is impossible to ignore, and when the small things become a major issue, then we usually take that thing seriously and go to doctor. So it is our responsibility to understand our body and to work accordingly. So uh, we will discuss about three major topics today. Major in the sense, we'll go into little depth about that. One is obesity, one is high blood pressure, and third is dyslipidemia. These are the three topics which we will go and understand the symptoms and diagnosis part of it. Before this, uh, I will also discuss some studies. There are some studies where working women, as they are loaded with the burden of the household work as well as the work of the office. It in that 25 to 45 years age, the women were usually obese, and they were had a severe depression in them, the study shows, and that the fat was also in an increased state. So one thing here I want to clarify is that the fat intake, the fat, if we are trying, suppose I am trying to lose weight, but I am in stress, I am in depression, then my cortisol, the hormone, will be in rise, it will be increased. So how much workout also if I do in that stress, how much effort I do a diet, will not work until and unless my stress has come down. So finding root cause of each and every disease or problem is very important. So as again I will go through obesity, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, osteoarthritis, depression. There are majority type of major lifestyle disorders which are very common in as well as in men, but women, they are more common because they are ignorant about it. So uh, again here I want to thank Astha, because she has created such a community where one woman is supporting and motivating other women. This is the this is what we want in today's scenario, where we have to motivate each other for the good and appreciate each other, so that we build a strong community where such things are very minimal. So let's go further to obesity. So, I want to ask, what is obesity according to you? And how seriously do you take this obesity in consideration? Anyone? What do you feel? What is obesity and how it is affecting you? Hi Pooja, I hope you are enjoying the session. Hi Ira, hi Meena. Can anyone give a like answer how what according to you is obesity and what you feel about that, and are you obese or not? Okay. The can be is the excess fat in the bone, and the fat present in body, the in our body plays a very important role, but somewhere we don't understand it. Should not feel our enemy. Yes, excess fat, bad fat, which is you know LDL, which is not required major proportion in your body, create havoc and your health. Increasing bad fat, increase cholesterol. Let's understand this. Cholesterol. Speaking of fat, majority or some of people feel that fat is somewhere related to cholesterol. So, uh, fat is required by that is, and then people, feel it is related to cholesterol, and cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol in certain amount is good to the body and it is required by the body, but yeah, there is a limitation. But fat or that cholesterol increases in much higher range, then it is definitely good from your body. The heart, the arteries, the veins going to form the veins or arteries, due to so somewhere you, me, and all that, due to the sedentary lifestyle which uh, we all are somewhere obese. Obesity is the first step of the disease which we will going to have in our old age, and then or somewhere now before that, because now old age is somewhere between 50-60. So so that is not good actually. So the obesity is the first step and we are ignoring it constantly. As I told you that small symptoms, small diagnosis or symptom also, if we miss or if we don't take care, it is going to increase slowly and steadily. So it is very important to catch hold of that symptom or diagnosis then and there and work on it. I hope that we will do that. Again, I want to remind you and myself that we all are such close knit community that we can do all this together and create a community where we all motivate each other to have a healthy lifestyle and live healthy, so that minimum diseases we have in our life. So let's understand some what is like how obesity and what are the symptoms of obesity. So obesity, as I told you, is the first step and it will increase the problem of other diseases which will come as bonus to us. So knowing symptoms is very important, and especially to work on that symptoms. So what happens that that symptoms is really we have to take care of the symptoms and do it properly. Whatever diagnosis is required, and we usually keep on ignoring, so that ignorance should not be there. The symptoms is in sleep we snore. That snoring symptoms is the indicator where which shows that we are going into this obesity line. Also, I will tell you to just hold your arms or your abdomens with your hand and try to grab some mushy area or some fat in your hands. If you are if you can grab the skin, you come under obese category, and I am also in that category. And but I slowly and steadily, yes, I am working towards it to make my life healthier, and also people surrounding me, their life also healthier. So uh, s- that is one symptoms. And then less of physical activity. So suppose some exercise or some routine you are going, or if you are walking, you feel very restless, you feel very tired. This is the symptom that yes, now something is not right with your body. Your energy levels fluctuate, it goes down. That is the symptom of that something is not properly. So if I am walking from the stairs and I feel breathless very badly, so you understand that now it's time to do more workout and give healthy things to the body. So this is the symptoms, and there are many other symptoms, because all the symptoms will come under obesity, because it is the first step. Now how do we understand and how do we diagnose obesity? So there are two major criteria in which obesity can be measured. One is BMI, which is very overall we are using a body mass index. uh, Ravdit Ardit has asked, why do I feel so tired and exhausted by second half of the day? Is it obesity? Radvit, it is, you know, we cannot blame on only one thing, because there are many lifestyle disease or many other factors which are responsible for a person's health. But then we have to as seeing the symptoms and the diagnosis, we have to properly see that what is the reason that exhaustion is there. Are you working too much, or are you in under more stress, or are you suffering from some other health condition like thyroid, high blood pressure, or diabetes? So that can also be a cause where you are getting exhausted. And this what I am talking about is clinical symptoms and diagnosis. But if we see according to naturopathy or Ayurveda, our body is aligned to the nature. And then when the nature, we are not that, there is a clock which is in our body and aligned to whatever according to the sun, moon. So if you are not following that, the rhythm changes, and as a result, slowly and steadily, we feel exhausted, tired, and many things. So for that you require proper diagnosis. But yes, obesity can be one of the reason. What the basic general thing like doing physical activity, eating healthy food, that all can be done to overcome that. But further you have to visit some faculty and understand that what is the main reason behind it. I hope I have answered your question. So now the diagnosis of obesity is BMI, body mass index. I will give you the formula of BMI, that is height divided by weight in centimeters divided by meter square, your height. This is the formula. So where your weight you will write and divided by, suppose 162, 163 your height is there, so twice, and you have to do in calculator and one value will come. So that shows that what is the, in which category you come in. So there are majorly four categories. One is underweight, one is normal, one is overweight, and one is obese. So below 18.5 comes under underweight category, and from 24 25 18.5 to 24.5 comes under normal category. So if you get that BMI, then you can easily understand that in which category you fall in. It is very simple, anyone can do it if they know their height and weight. And if it is 25 to 30, 29.5, they come under overweight category, and above 30 to further come under obese category. But then let me tell you friends that obesity will not come like if you do your BMI and if you say कि अरे मैं तो overweight की category में आ रही हूँ, I am not obese. But let me tell you that we have to try to remain in zone of normal, and we should not think that कि ये like कि overweight है तो it's all right, because we have to take primary importance and utmost important to our health first. Okay, now comes blood pressure. High blood pressure, mostly in our family members we listen, and that has also become very common. That shouldn't be. So blood pressure is what, uh, our heart is the main source which is continuously pumping, and through arteries, vein, and various vessels, it's the flow of blood is there in all the parts of the body, right? Okay, I'm so sorry, I little network issue is there, but I hope I am clear. So what happens that blood pressure is there. So diastolic and systolic, there are two types of blood pressure. Whenever you go to some doctor, the doctor will check your pressure, and they will tell you कि हाँ 120/80 है, normal है. So that criteria is there. So let's understand what is that two different categories of pressures. One is systolic blood pressure. It is the top blood pressure, as in lay language it is said. It is the pressure of the arteries during the contraction of heart muscles. And another is when it is relaxed. So the in relaxed mode, it is systolic blood pressure. The normal blood pressure should be 80 to 120 millimeter of mercury. But and let's understand the symptoms of high blood pressure. It's usually fatigue, headache, breathlessness, blood in urine, nose bleeding, chest pain, visual changes. Sometimes what happens that we ignore the symptoms, and it becomes so major issues that even it can cause death. And this is a very true case, because I have seen one of my family relative who ignored headache for a month, and then at the end she was very young and very vibrant doctor, and she was like her brain dead, she was declared brain dead in she had no time to go and diagnose it. So I am sharing this with you with the concern that uh, let's not ignore such things, take proper precautions, and let's take care of ourselves and give it priority, as I am repeating it again and again, so that it get embedded in our head and we give ourselves priority. So these are the uh, symptoms of this. So if it is persisting, suppose if you have headache for almost a week, or sometimes in a day or two, it's a different scenario, but it is continuously, then please try to take proper precautions and do it. So uh, diagnosis is much, but before that there is a simple BP machine available. If you feel the symptoms, you can go to some nearby symptoms and do your blood pressure check at least for a week daily. Write it down in a paper and try to do it twice a day, so that you have proper idea that is your blood pressure increasing or it is remaining the same. And there is also one thing here, that 80 to 120 is the normal range of blood pressure, but what happens, some 20-30 points up and there, if it's there, then we usually ignore it. But there are many studies which shows that there are some criteria where it is a type of symptom which shows that in the future you will be suffering from high blood pressure. So please try to if we note it down, we will have a proper estimate that is it increasing or not increasing. And if it is increasing, we can consult some doctors and take proper suggestions. And before that, try to do lifestyle changes, like consuming less salt in your food, not having too much of oily fried farsan type of food, papad in your diet, which will which helps if we do it on regular basis. So now the third condition is dyslipidemia. Now dyslipidemia, if we explore or if we go in depth, it is like lipids and this balance of lipids. So again, when we speak this term, people feel that it is somewhere related to cholesterol. The fat has many different components, not only cholesterol. It has HDL, uh, LDL, so high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein. So for understanding, let's symbol H think as a hero and L is as a zero. So LDL should be there in good amount. It is good for your body processes and helps in processing. But more of LDL if you are consuming, that shows that you are not eating fats in your diet, and it is not required for body is not synthesizing it properly, and your arteries are getting blocked, clogging is there. So that is the symptoms of high blood pressure. And there are many cases which I have seen where people have ignored high blood pressure, and at the end the thing has happened that they have really suffered a very long in their life, and it has caused like remaining in ICU, and very majority of lifestyle changes, majority of disease they have been invited in the body. So please do not ignore. So cholesterol में triglyceride is also there. So LDL we should be less, HDL should be high. So what happens that when LDL all that is high, dyslipidemia, this shows that the heart is not working properly. Either it has some heart problem, heart condition, or it will have in the future. So we have to avoid it completely by taking in the first place only when we understand about it. So as I told you, fat is building in the arteries when LDL or that is high in the body. And primary symptoms of this is chest pain, tightness, we feel dizzy, heart palpitation. Sometimes you feel ki heart is beating very fast, you cannot understand what is happening. That is also one symptom. Exhaustion and swelling in ankles, hands, feet, trouble in breathing, cold sweats, you are sitting in AC but you are sweating a lot, nausea, heartburn. These are the symptoms of dyslipidemia. And then how it can be diagnosed by doing a simple test of a serum profile in your blood test, which will measure lipids, triglyceride, HDL, LDL. This will give you a proper idea of how your body all systems are working and which of the proportion is high, so that we can work on that uh, particularly. And also, let me tell you that you know uh, this is the major cause, and secondary cause of dyslipidemia is high blood pressure, diabetes, uh, chronic kidney disease, hypothyroidism, liver cirrhosis. So this all also come under the cause of dyslipidemia. So today we have discussed majorly three diseases or lifestyle disorder, as we can say: obesity, high blood pressure, and dyslipidemia, which we can say that it was a first step towards other major diseases which we are going to cover in other sessions. So I hope you all like this session. I am so sorry for the inconvenience due to the network issues which is causing again and again. But I tried to roll it in one form and give it to you, so that majority of can be benefited from it, of this. And I want, at the end, I want to conclude. See, it is our body and we are responsible for our body to take care of it. So uh, take, when you get up in the morning, you should not feel that heaviness, you should feel lightness. So understand your body, understand what it wants. Give, as women now in the period of lockdown, I can see that most of us have become more busy than ever, because we are continuously on our toes, doing for our kids, for our husband, for our family members. But at the end we are so exhausted, we are so tired that we don't have time for ourselves. uh, Request is to remove time, at least half an hour, 45 minutes, to sit alone, understand your body, understand what your demands are, what you want. It is all right if work is not done properly. We don't want experts where we are doing everything properly. It's all right if food, we are not cooking major dishes, one two dishes will do. But yeah, our health is in our own hands, and we all have to come together and understand this, and build a prosperous future for women, so that we can tackle our home and as well as our work properly, without any hesitation and without any load. So I hope the session was useful to all of you. Thank you, Neha, for joining in. Thank you, Bapta. Thank you, Aditya, for joining in. And if you have any queries regarding to today's session or anything, I will try to answer. Please let me know in the post. Any queries? Again, I want to thank you, Asta, for the wonderful opportunity she is giving to all the women entrepreneurs to grow, to come out of their comfort zone and do something which is also benefiting other women. Hello, Sakshi. Do you have any queries? Uh, Ravdit, any queries further about this? Please let me know. Otherwise, in a few minutes we will end the session. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening to me. Instead of all interruption which happened during our live session. And also please let me know in future what subjects or which topics related to lifestyle disease or anti-inflammatory you want me to cover, so that we can have that sessions first in our live sessions, so that maximum of us are benefited from it. Thank you, Sugna. I am very glad that you liked the session. Thank you so much. Okay then, we will end the session. Namaste. I hope you liked the session, and yeah, thank you. Thank you, Neha. I'm glad you liked the video. Thank you so much. You can also post the queries or which sessions you want to cover in future in the Mrs. Diva page, because there also we will come to know and we can work that way. Thank you so much. Namaste.